So today I'm going to share with you the 5 kind of friends that I don't actually need in my life. They could be causing you all sorts of stress or negativity, and sometimes you just feel like, why am I even friends with these people, and why do I even meet up with those kind of toxic people? So here are the 5 people that I personally don't need in my life, and maybe it would help you rethink about your group of friends. So the first kind of people I really don't need in my life are gossipers. You probably know why, and you probably have some people you know, for example, at work, who just love to gossip. And to me, it's just such a negative way to kind of be surrounded with those kind of people in your day, and I really don't need it. I'm trying to bring more positivity into my life, so having gossipers around just really dampens the mood. And usually I feel like people who like to talk badly about other people are generally people who probably don't have much good in their own lives. What I mean is, they probably don't have anything interesting in their own life to share with others, and so their only entertainment is to talk about other people. It's all good if you talk about others with positive news and good things that happen to them and just nice things in general, but if all they talk about is nasty things, like things that have gone wrong in their lives, oh, their wife has left them, or the kids have failed their exams at school, and just sharing all these negative things, personally, I don't care. Usually I feel like there are enough things in my day-to-day life that I need to get through and deal with and try to ignore and try to just have a good day. And also sometimes people feel like the need to talk about negative things of other people's lives to make themselves feel better. I mean, if you allow other people's lives to affect your own that much, then there's a bigger problem. Maybe you need to look at your own life and try to figure things out and change your mindset. Maybe it's time to cut out negativity in your day-to-day life and just get on and live a happier life. The next type of so-called friend I don't need are the ones that always talk about themselves. And what I mean is, every time you meet up, or it doesn't have, just not just friends, I mean, like, it could be colleagues. I find that more with colleagues than actual friends, because I pick and choose who I want to be friends with. Whereas when you work with someone, you don't necessarily get to choose kind of who you work with and what sort of person you kind of have to put up with on a day-to-day basis. So for me, I really struggle with the people who just want to talk about themselves. An example would be when we go to work on a Monday, and then they will ask you, so how was your weekend? Did you have a good weekend? What did you get up to? And then you would kind of summarize in maybe 1 or 2 sentences and say, oh yeah, it was nice. I went to see my family, and kind of that's it. I personally don't like to overshare kind of what I've been up to and just personal things, especially at work. I'm not someone who really likes to talk about myself all the time. And then you get those kind of people who only ask you how your weekend was, so you can ask them how their weekend was and what they got up to. And then they just tell you for about 10 minutes, they don't stop talking, and all they do is tell you about what they've done on the weekend, this bad thing happened, and the neighbour has really annoyed them because they threw some rubbish over the fence, etc, etc. And again, I don't really care. Obviously, it's nice to talk, it's nice to catch up, and human interactions can be quite important to some people. For some people, they need the connection with other humans. To me, it's important to have a conversation. Like, conversation is 2 ways. So if someone says one thing and I feel like I want to respond sometimes, and that's how a conversation flows. Whereas there's some people who would just want to talk and just want to overshare, and then when it comes to me wanting to contribute or add kind of my thought or my opinion, I can't get a word in. And to me, that's really annoying. And sometimes if someone's talking about their personal lives, or kind of a feeling that they have or an emotion that they have, I would want to help them to see something from kind of a different view or a different perspective. So for me, it's important for me to be able to actually say those things and have, like I say, a conversation, and not just me sitting there going, yeah. The next type of people I don't really like being around are the ones that always see the negative in everything. I mean, some people are pessimistic, and I definitely have been for a very long time, and I still am to an extent, but I'm trying really hard to change it. But what I mean is, sometimes you would want to share kind of good news or something very exciting with someone else. So you're very excited and you want kind of some sort of support or something, and you just want to share that news. But then all they do is they turn around and say, oh, you'll never do that. Or kind of try to say it in a way that they won't be able to do it, so you can't do it either. Let me elaborate. So for example, the half marathon, say, oh, I've signed up for a half marathon next year. And this other person you want to share this good news with would say, oh, I could never run a half marathon. Oh, it's just, I'm too lazy. I love sitting in front of the TV every day, just watch TV. I hate having to move. I hate having to do anything strenuous. Oh, don't even bother. It's just too difficult, and you may as well save some money and just save yourself some time trying to train for something that you ultimately won't be able to complete. That kind of negativity, I don't need either, because if someone else has an opinion on something, they can keep it to themselves. And also, everyone's different. If someone isn't able to do something or doesn't think something's a good idea, doesn't mean they should push that same opinion onto someone else and make them think the same way that they do, because in that way, they're just going to live a miserable life and they would always be disappointed in everything that they do and decide. The other type of person to me that I really don't want in my life are the ones who only reach out to you when they need something. I've had this quite a lot in the past, where I was kind of someone who really wanted to be able to drive and have a car as soon as I could. So I made sure that I got my driving license when I was 17 and save up for a car as soon as I could. So I just loved the freedom of having a car. But then you get other people who don't drive. I mean, it could be reasons, medical reasons, it could be other reasons that just restrict them from driving, and I get that. I mean, it's not their choice. But some people just choose not to drive or not have a car. They have their own reasons for not wanting to drive. But then when it comes to them wanting help from someone who has a car, then they reach out to you. And there will be some people who've not spoken to for a long time, like years, and they would randomly message you or phone you and say, so how are you doing? How have you been? Oh, we should catch up sometime. We should meet up, blah, blah, blah. And then they just move on to saying, oh, when we catch up on this day and this time, you gonna be driving? Can you come and help me to move house or something like that? That particularly about the car thing really annoys me personally, because I've had it so much in the past. And in general, people who only contact you or message you when they want something. I never feel that's okay to do to someone else. Don't think that's how you treat friends and people in your lives. I mean, if you call them your friends, then you would meet up and catch up, not when you need help or need a favor. So the next type of people, I wouldn't necessarily say they're toxic people, but I would struggle and I find it difficult to be friends with those kind of people, and they are the ones who hate animals. I love animals so much. I've always loved animals. I've got a cat at the moment, and I've had a cat in the past. I've always wanted a dog, but with work and being out of the house all the time, it's just not going to be very fair on a dog, so that's why I don't have a dog. But I kind of grew up with animals as well when I was younger, and I just love them, and all I want to do is help them, save them, and I just want to do anything to kind of make sure they're happy and comfortable and things like that. So I'd really struggle with people who actively hate animals or think they're gross, or especially the ones that torture animals. I cannot see how someone can be so evil and decide to hurt something so small and vulnerable, and just something that's so helpless, and you decide to do bad things to them. I mean, I definitely couldn't be friends with someone like that. I mean, my cat just means everything to me. I just want to do everything I can to make sure he has a happy life and he's comfortable, he's well fed, and everything. I just want to look after him because he's my precious little cat. So yeah, anyone who hates animals or doesn't love animals as much as I do are not my friends. So those are the 5 types of people that I don't think I need in my life. Don't think I want them in my life either. And since making that decision, I feel like I'm a lot happier. I just don't need more negative people. And that's it. That's all I have to say.